Let's join together and sing Sanctuary. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you, a sanctuary for you.
Thank you, Connie. So this morning is an important morning. This white stone ceremony is such an important thing. And these stones, some of you have them because you received them in the mail. If you are a member, or if you called and you said, I'd really like to have one of those, we sent out a bunch of them as well. So I suspect that the majority of you have them. If you do not have a white stone, you can use a white piece of paper. You can use a stone from the yard. You can use anything. You're going to get a word. These particular stones were quarried in Jerusalem and sent to us. And the story of the white stone, the reason for the white stone, comes from that place in the world. And I want to tell you a little bit about that and just give you a chance to understand what the white stone is about. I'm going to pull this out of here so that you don't see me. There you go. So this is our annual white stone ceremony, and we do it every year, the first week, whatever is the first Sunday of New Year's, of the new year. And these stones are ordered in December, and usually we hand them out. One of the things that you'll find is that it's a little easier to write on this white stone in pencil than it is in pen, or if you have a little Sharpie or something like that, you could use that. And a lot of times when people do write their word on here, and we'll talk about that word, you may also want to put a little fingernail polish or something over it so that you can keep it, because this is a sacred object. This is a sacred object which you're going to hold on to all year. You're going to put it someplace where you see it often. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, maybe, that pencil mark can get rubbed off pretty easily. If you're like me and you like to pick things up, it's interesting how quick that mark can get rubbed right off of there. So in the Bible, there's only one reference to God giving us a white stone with a new name. And it says this: to the one who is victorious, I will give some of the hidden manna. I will also give that person a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to the one who receives it. So I want to remember that, right? This is a name for you. This is not a name you're going to take out, and this is not going to be posted on Facebook. Hey, I got a new name. This is not a Facebook thing. This is a name for you. And when we say name, the name may not be, it could be an actual name, but it could also be a word that is a guide for you through the next year. It doesn't necessarily, like mine last year was faith. It doesn't necessarily mean that I would change my name to faith. It means that I have a new name to live under, a new name to contemplate, a word for the year that is guiding for me. And I will tell you, sometimes I think I know exactly what the name is going to be. And then I go into the meditation and something entirely new comes up. So don't be surprised if you have one idea and something new pops into your head. One of the theories regarding the meaning of the white stone is that it probably has to do with ancient Roman customs of awarding white stones to people who won in athletic games. So if you won a game, you got a white stone with your name on it, and that was your ticket into a very elaborate celebration. Another one of the better accepted explanations of the white stone has to do with the priest's breastplate, which, as you know, contained 12 stones. And each of these stones had the name of one of the 12 tribes of Israel on it. So as a priest went into the temple, he carried by name the 12 tribes and all of the people of the tribes into that sacred space. So there is some understanding that this stone represents your ability to be in holy presence. Another one of the possibilities is that we're told that those who were imprisoned during this time, during the time of Jesus, that if you were imprisoned or you were enslaved for some reason, and you either completed your incarceration or you were freed from slavery, that you received a white stone, and that white stone was symbolic of the fact that you are free. And so when we look at all of these things for our ceremony today, there are three different things for us to keep in mind. One is that you have everything you need to participate fully in the celebration of life, just like those athletes who were given the ticket that let them into the golden celebration. You have a golden ticket of your own that says you can celebrate completely every aspect of life. You're here and you are the presence of the holy. It's not even a case of having to go to the presence of the holy. You are here in this moment as the presence of the holy, surrounded by the presence of the holy, because there's no place that God is not. And you are free of all bindings and ties. This stone is symbolic that you have paid the price for your freedom. So what is that price? What is the price you have paid for your freedom? We pay lots of prices, don't we? We work hard to have financial freedom. We love strong to have freedom in relationship to express who we are. We work to understand each other. We live in a world where we show compassion and we pay the price of our attention. We pay attention to where there is a need for love and care and generosity. And in all of those ways, we prepare ourselves, our hearts, for this time and this gift that we will receive today through meditation. So this can't be done wrong. As you go through it, something will come to you. However, your name will usually come as one word, not a whole sentence. At some time during the meditation we're about to do together, you'll hear that word and you'll write it on your stone and use it to guide you through the next year. Don't second guess what you heard. The name could be mysterious when you first receive it. It may not sound right at all. Just listen and trust and see where it takes you over the next year. Sometimes we don't hear anything. Sometimes at the end of the service, we end up with a blank stone. That is not a bad thing. It may mean that you're in a transformational place and that you are between one intention and another. We have lots of time in life when we're in transformation. So if there isn't a name that comes to you yet, continue to listen. You may hear it over the next week or two, or you may simply hold that divine space of transformation open for yourself. So in a moment, we're going to meditate and listen for that word. But before we do, Connie, why don't you sing for us and give us some music to take us into the right frame of mind?
Rest in the heart of the holy. Be still, be still. and for guidance. Be still and know. Be still and know. Listen, a new life is calling, calling out to you. Reach out and claim it. With your stone you will name it. Be still and know. Be still and know. Embrace this new path set before you. One word to make you new. Your white stone will guide you to the holy inside you. Be still and know. Be still and know.
If you haven't already done so, just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and release. You are in a safe place, in a safe time. This time is for you. This exercise is just a symbolic way to receive a beautiful gift. You may have come into the new year with some idea of what your purpose will be, what goals and objectives you have. This opportunity is slightly different. Breathe gently. This is a time to allow Spirit to guide your path, to gift you with a simple word, to move you toward your divine purpose. And sometimes our divine purpose is not the same as the purpose our sense self will tell us. So gently breathe, allowing yourself to relax into this moment and recognizing that you needn't go anywhere to find the holy, that you are made of the holy, you are moved by the holy, breathed by the holy, that the holy is who is looking out your eyes when they're open and who hears through your ears. There is no other but one. And this one, we all are. So allow your awareness to move to divine presence, to a wisdom greater than that you might believe you can hold in your head, to a wisdom that is universal, that knows all and sees all and is all, where there are no mistakes. Allow yourself to be present in this sacred moment, this right now moment. Call every aspect of who you are from all time and space and dimension to this place, that the name you receive might match your pure and complete vibration. You may see or sense or feel a light that begins in your heart, just a small point of light that begins to expand, moving wider and wider, deeper and deeper through all aspects of you. This light moves as you open to your own awareness that you are one with all that is. And as you allow your conscious self on all levels to feel and express, to expect and accept that you are the holy, wisdom and knowing flow through you easily. The prayer we share is that we might each receive one word that is our opening to the celebration of life. One word that reminds us we are always in divine presence. One word that speaks to our freedom to express as our individual selves while still being one with all that is. This unique word each of us receives gives our individual self. In this holy, brilliant moment, let us be silent and hear the voice of Spirit. Let our names be recognized. When you hear your name, gently open your eyes, pick up your pencil and your stone, and write your name on your stone. And when you've done so, gently close your eyes again. If you've already received your name, offer thanks, agreeing to open to the blessings that this gift will bring you in the next year. And if your stone in this moment remains blank, know that you are transforming, that a name will come at the right time. And when you hear it, go back to your stone and write it. As you hold this stone, honor that it is a sacred gift. It represents your freedom. It represents your clarity of who you are. It represents your willingness to celebrate, which is to fully express in all ways who you truly are. After we're done with today's service, place this stone in a place you might see it often. There's no need to share what gift you were given, although there is nothing that says you can't. You are welcome to share it. But this is a gift unique to you, uniquely for you. And in this moment, we give thanks for the names that have been received. We know that we will move forward in a different and better way for having received the insights of the holy. For this, we're grateful. Take a deep breath in. Feel your breath move through your body as you exhale. Gently open your eyes, returning to this sacred space and time together. Connie.
May this be a year of love and kindness. May strangers come to be friends. May truth and compassion always guide us. Amen. May this be a year of hope and healing for all of those in need. May all our deeds be a blessing. Amen. A new year, a good year, a chance to start all over. A new year, a sweet year, a chance to bring us closer. May this be a year of selfless giving. May this be a year of peace. And may we forgive and be forgiven. Amen. A new year, a good year, a chance to start all over. A new year, a sweet year, a chance to bring us closer, closer to the ones we love, a world that we can be proud of, as long as there are stars above. Here comes a new year. Amen.
That's beautiful, Connie. Oh, friends, welcome to your new year. Welcome to your new name. I want to invite you one more time to go to gallery view for a moment, to just recognize each other. Because so often we spend our time here talking about how we are one with all that is, the oneness we are. And this is one of the rare times that we really honor that each of us is a unique expression of the divine. This gift that we receive on a morning like today honors you as the unique expression you are. And that gift is completely and totally for you and no one else. And that's pretty powerful that we can be both of those things, that we can be all that is, and we can also be this magical and amazing expression. Go ahead and put yourself back in speaker view. This is the time in the service that we generally have some announcements, and I usually speak those myself. But this morning, we have an announcement to make that I don't think I could say. So I have a recording that I'm going to play for you, and just give me a moment here and I will bring it up for you. Here we go. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow said, "Great are beginnings, even greater are endings." I agree with those words. I think a good ending makes all the difference in life. I'm hoping that together we can create a good ending. In late 2018, I was meditating in our sanctuary and I heard the words, "Your work here is done." I didn't really want to hear those words. I didn't really want to pay attention to them. So I thought, yeah, okay, let's give it some time and see what happens. In late 2019, I heard the words again, a little different. "Your work is done here. You are complete." I sat with that. In February of 2020, Mark and I took a short vacation. We went out to San Diego. And while we were out there, I heard the words very clearly. "Your work here is done. It's time to go." I have always answered the call of spirit. I'll tell you that it's much easier to answer the call coming in than to answer the call to depart. But I am definitely being called out. I came back in February and I told the board it was time for me to go. And we set a date of the early part of June of 2020. And I had planned on talking to you about that at the annual meeting. But last year in March, the annual meeting was canceled due to the COVID pandemic. We closed the church and we scrambled to figure out how we would do this. Who are we without our church building? How do we come together? What do we do? I couldn't have possibly left you then. And I told the board that. Now we're in 2021. We're in a much better position. We know how to do this. We know how to be together. We know how to care for our building when we're not in it. We are financially stable. All is well. And I am clear it's time for me to go. So I plan to leave, as I did last year, in early June, sometime the beginning of the summer. You are in very good hands. Your board has already been in contact with Unity Worldwide Ministries. There's already been an arrangement made for Tony Boehm, our regional consultant, to help the board put the proper steps in place. Everything is good. And I have to tell you that I know in my heart, if I am being called out, that the perfect person is waiting in the wings to be called in. It's time for the next iteration of Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. And that iteration will cross you into the threshold of your second 100 years. That's very exciting. It's very exciting for me to think about what is ahead of you. And it's exciting for me to think about what's ahead of me, because each time I've been called to a new place, something wonderful has happened. And I have confidence that Spirit will guide me into whatever is my next level of work. I also have confidence that Spirit is guiding you and that the exact right person will come forward to meet this calling. It's been a tremendous pleasure to work with you. It's been a tremendous pleasure to grow and to learn with you. And I'm looking forward to the fact that it's not quite over yet. We still have several months together. And I have the distinct pleasure of watching you turn your eyes toward the horizon and look at what Spirit might be bringing you. What exciting new face will guide you into your next century. I'm going to turn this meeting over to Unity Worldwide Ministries for a message. That message will be followed by a short couple of words from Tony Boehm, our regional consultant, and then Derek Reed, our board president, will tell you more about what we see in the future, about how this process takes place, and we'll make some time for questions.
You've just heard your ministers leaving. People around you may have the same feelings that you have, or may have very different ones. Some of you may have conflicting emotions, happy for the minister, but sad for yourself. Flight or fight. Some of you may want to just fly right out of here. Others may feel angry or may be abandoned. Some may feel worried. What's going to happen to our ministry? While others embrace change and are ready for something new. Pause and take a deep breath. All of these emotions are okay. It is part of our human experience. So be gentle with yourself and each other. So what is yours to do? First, acknowledge your feelings. Relax and remember who you are. Hold the space with prayer and meditation. Support each other and your leadership team. And most of all, trust. Relax and remember the divine being of light that you are. This I am. As the divine being who you are and what you have are more than enough to meet any challenge. Remember to spend time in prayer and meditation. We know the power of prayer and meditation. It's the best way to support the ministry, each other, and the leadership team. Trust in Spirit, in yourselves, and in your leadership team. They have already contacted Unity Worldwide Ministries and are working together to plan the next steps for the highest and best for this ministry. So listen to the wisdom of the heart, express gratitude, laugh often, love lavishly, and pray always. Many blessings from Unity Worldwide Ministries, Member Services.
Good morning, everyone. This is Reverend Tony Boehm, and it's my pleasure to be here with you this morning and to share just a few moments about the transition process. I know it all comes as a shock, and here's something else I want you to know. All will be well. Ahriana has already contacted UWM. I'm a part of that system, and we have a whole program that has been in place for over 20 years of how to do transition, lead a ministry through transition effectively. in order that we experience the least amount of bumps possible. There will be a few bumps, friends, especially in the beginning. One of those bumps will be fear. People will be afraid, oh my God, she's leaving. What are we going to do? Remember, nothing happens by accident. All is purposeful. And there is someone in the wings already waiting to be divinely guided to you. I will support you through this process, and all will be well, for all is well. God bless you all, and I look forward to speaking to you, working with you, and working with your board and your board president. Thank you.
And now I'd like to turn this over to Derek Reed, our board president. Derek, it's all yours.
Good morning, everyone, and a happy new year. I'm sure, as Tony and Ahriana said, these kinds of things can come as a shock to someone. And I just want to reassure you that we are moving forward as a community and as a prosperous community full of wonderful people that I always call my Unity family. I've been blessed to be a part of Ahriana and her ministry for, gosh, I've been on the board 7 of the 11 years, which just absolutely blows my mind. To be able to support her in her journey, and now to be able to support her in the next steps of her journey with this transition. We are going to be doing a lot of things over the next few months. And I want to let everyone know that you will be involved in this process for sure. Membership has always been a key ingredient to things in this community, and it's going to be membership as well as other people that will have opportunities to take surveys to tell us what we are looking for in our next minister and beyond. The interesting piece of all of this, which we've discussed on the board, is that ministers tend to come here and stay around for a long time. Ahriana's been here for 11 years, and before that, Lawrence was here for 9 years. So we are making a decision that's going to guide our community forward for, gosh, I would think at least the next 5 to 10 years, everyone, which is an exciting place to be. We have done some things over 2020 where we have solidified this community. We've paid off our building. We are at probably the most prosperous place that we've ever stepped into in a new year, and I am grateful for that. And I thank all of you for your continued support of this community through giving, through time, talent, treasure, and all of the things that you bless us with. I look down today and I see probably the largest group that we've had online here in quite some time, and that does my heart wonderfully well too. To let everybody know, going forward, we have created a steering committee, and the board has been gracious enough to appoint me head of that steering committee. And what that is going to be is working with Tony Boehm to guide us through this process. She is a wonderful asset. I have been blessed to be able to work with her as far as board training and through several other things over the past 10 years. And I know she's going to help us get through this gracefully and wonderfully moving forward. And I encourage all of you to kind of keep an eye out each and every week with eBlast, emails, and of course here Sunday services, where we are going to keep everybody in the loop with the process and what is going to happen going forward. We are going to be gathering some people to help me out with this committee, and I will be talking to some people. There are some qualifications that we'll be letting some folks know moving forward to be on this committee, and express that to the community and let everybody know what that is all about. And just to kind of let everybody know the process, we will be doing surveys. We will be doing a package that we have to submit to Unity Worldwide Ministries of kind of what we're looking for. some basic job description for what the minister would be, and then moving forward here with, at some point in time, bringing in potential candidates based on those surveys and based on interviews and other things like that. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, without going into specific details. One thing I also want to throw out there to everyone while I've got you is that we are going to be electing new board members come this March with the annual meeting. And we will have 3 people, including myself, stepping off the board and 3 new board members coming on. So I asked you to look into your heart if you think you might want to be a part of this process where those 3 new people that would be coming onto the board would be in the middle of this and helping guide this and helping make the decision of who this community chooses as a new minister. I assume many people probably have not read the bylaws. Just to let you know, through community, we'll survey, we'll get input, we'll get guidance, we'll get feedback when somebody comes to talk, whether you like them or love them or want them immediately. And ultimately, it is the board's decision who they hire for this community. So it is a hugely important 6 people, 6 membership board going forward here for this 2021 and beyond to make some key decisions in this community going forward. So if that calls to your heart, I encourage you to contact me or the board, and we can certainly get you an application. We're going to start this process here in January of taking board applications and getting things ready by February for that board. And then doing our meeting, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the 3rd, I think it's the 20th. I'd have to look again. I'll be informed of when the board official annual meeting is in March. So what I also wanted to let you know is we are going to, instead of fellowship time, allow some people the chance to submit into the chat box any questions you might have. I'm sure many people will have a lot of questions, and some of these we won't know right now, and some of them we will, but there's going to be a lot of information coming down the pipe over the next month about how this process goes and how we get started with it. So with that, I will turn it back over to Ahriana briefly, and we will go forward from here today. And thank you all for your time, and look forward to this process with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. I just put Derek's email address and also the church email address in the chat box, so you can grab that if you would like to run for the board, or you have questions that don't get covered today, or maybe you're not able to stay around afterward. But we do want to host that Q&A time following today's service. I know it's a lot. It's a lot for all of us. And I also know that we are in such a good place and so many good things are coming. And I'm really excited to watch over the next few months how this all develops. So let's pray our way out, and then we'll have some music from Connie and then go directly into that question and answer time. If you have a question, you are welcome to put that in the chat box now, and then we'll come back to those after we are complete with our service. If you don't think of a question, or for some reason you can't stay and you'd like to submit a question later, you can either submit directly to Derek or to the church email address at Unity Rockies, and someone will be back in touch with you. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. Let's find our feet on the ground below us. And let's just root ourselves a little bit. Just remember that we're connected to the earth, that we are connected to all that is on this physical plane. And that as we connect to the earth, we remember that we are rooted and grounded and cared for. and that all of our needs are met. There's water, there's food, there's shelter. We have what we need on all levels, emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual. And as we hold this space together to close out this sacred time under our new names, we recognize too that something new is coming to our Unity Spiritual Center. We recognize that this is a time to be observing, to grow and learn together. And this is a very important time of service, collaboration, and creation. And we step into this time with open hearts, knowing that all of us are guided, that all of us are safe, and that there is never a time that we are apart from one another. We are always connected through the heart and the oneness of the Holy. And for this, we're grateful. And we close with these simple words. Amen, amen, and so it is.
Let's join together to sing our closing song, and Chris will put the lyrics in the chat box for us. And thank you, everyone, for being here today. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. We are one light, shining souls in harmony. We are one light, shining in unity.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you all for being here. If you're not staying, please have a wonderful day. If you are staying, we are going to open Derek's mic, but you will need to put your comments in the chat box because we can't really handle everybody talking at once. Chris, I'm going to ask you to let the recording run, because when we post this, there may be questions that other people will have that will be answered in this. So if you'll allow the recording to go ahead, that would be great. And Derek, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and community, ask you to go ahead and place any questions that you have in the chat box.
All right, everyone. The other thing I forgot to mention, which I just wanted to do now, is I would ask all of you to hold in your hearts space for this to happen too, as far as this transition to letting Ahriana go and letting a new minister come forth. I mean, like Ahriana had mentioned, it is something that is divinely intentioned, where when you listen to the Spirit and it guides you, it can help you to make the changes you need in your own life. And so I would ask everyone to hold space for this over the next several months that we are going through this, and to open your hearts and call in who that next great person will be for this community. So if anybody has any questions, and maybe you don't, maybe it's just right now kind of a little bit of shock and awe, and that's okay too. But we will get all the questions answered. And I'm looking at the Zoom chat right now, and I don't see any questions rolling in. So maybe that's an okay thing too. Certainly, we're going to, like I say, dispel a lot of this information over the next several weeks. And we will be keeping everybody in close-knit awareness of this process and what we're going to be doing, and through the communications with Tony and through the surveys that we're going to be putting out there to everyone, and keep everyone in the loop for all of this, because it's a hugely important time for us and this community going forward with what we're going to be doing. So does anybody have any specific questions that they would like to have answered as far as this process or what might be? Or if we kind of, I've done a lot of general there for everybody just to let you know.
Derek, there's a question. Yeah, there is a question in the chat box about one of our members sharing that she has a less Christian orientation, and I've had
there it is.
Obviously a little bit less Christian orientation. The question is, do we know how we'll go forward in all of that? That is the survey process that Tony will take you through. You will go through a complete survey process that invites you to really look at everything we've done in your experience and what you like, and maybe what you'd like more of and what you'd like less of. And all of that process takes place before we fill out the paperwork that we send to Unity Village, because Unity is going to collaborate with us to find someone who is the perfect fit for this community. And in order to find the perfect fit, we have to find out what the membership wants. And my encouragement to all of you is to be broad and wide in your thinking, to open the doors for something wonderful and amazing to happen. And I hope that you will, there you go, Diana. I will hope that you will trust and know that Spirit is bringing what is perfect next. Thanks for your question, Wendy.
And as far, I see another one that says, how long is Ahriana going to stay? Right now, it really depends. It depends on when we would find that new minister coming in and get the hiring process completed. Right now, Ahriana did say, we're looking at somewhere around the beginning of June or sometime early in the summer is probably more than likely. This could be anywhere from say a 5 to 6, maybe sometimes pushing 7-month process, depending on how things go. And again, we'll keep everybody in the loop with that and certainly let you know progress as we know progress.
Julie, there's a question for you about whether you're staying. Do you want to answer that? I think I have to make you a co-host to get you to let you open your mic. Go ahead. Nope, you're still muted. Let's see if I can do it over here.
Okay.
There. Got it?
Nope, I'm muted again.
We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. Boy, it's the Zoom just, okay. Yes, I will be here. This is my home church, and I'm not going anywhere. I'll tell you what, I've been gone for 25 years and had 2 wonderful ministries, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm never leaving Colorado Springs, I don't think. So I'll be around. And I love you all. I love this church, and I will do anything in my power to lift us up. And I know that the direction that you guys are going to go in will be just perfect. And I'm really excited. I do have to say that I've been with Ahriana knowing that this decision has been heavy on her heart. And I've been really concerned about that. So yeah, I cry. So, bear with me. I cry at everything. So it's going to be a perfect transition. And I know you guys are going to be great in every way. So God bless you guys.
Thanks, Julie. Dana, you asked where I'm going. I'm going nowhere. Not right away. I think that ultimately Mark and I have our eyes set on a warmer climate, but I have not applied for another ministry. I have not. I really don't believe that I will go back into congregational ministry. I think this will be it sounds trite and cliche, but I really don't think it can get any better for me than it's been this last decade with you guys. I really have loved every minute here. And and I'm ready for whatever comes after congregational ministry. I think I'll do some online teaching. I think I'll explore how I can share some of what I've learned about the business of church with other spiritual leaders. But Mark and I are not leaving Colorado Springs right away, and I'm keeping the doors open. You know, I didn't expect to come here. I never expected to do congregational ministry, and Spirit opened the door and kind of pushed me in. And I don't know what will be revealed for me over the next few months. I'm just going to do the same thing you're doing. I'm going to open my eyes and pay attention with my heart and trust that we are Spirit guided and all is well. And what is ahead of us is coming in divine and blessed ways.
Wendy, I wanted to answer your question as far as will only members be surveyed, and that is no. We will be surveying members as well as other people who want to participate. To that comment, I would highly ask anyone who isn't a member to be able to consider becoming a member between now and March, because one of the things with the board votes, or the board membership, is only members get to vote on who becomes a board member. So that is a big piece of this going forward. But we are going to be surveying everybody as far as anyone who wants to participate and is a member of this or is a part of this community is going to get a chance to have a voice and do the survey also. Ahriana, I see what Peg, she mentioned, like, what is the pool of ministers we're able to pull from? And I'll let you speak to that for a little bit.
Yeah, so Unity Worldwide Ministries, one of the interesting things is that we have reciprocity with CSL. So we have the ability to send this message out wide through both Unity and through Centers for Spiritual Living. There are lots and lots of ministries, lots and lots of ministers in both of those communities. And they really are very similar. Remember that we all came from these two communities, CSL and Unity, were at one time all connected. And then all of that came apart. And over the last couple of years, I think one of the great pieces of work that has been done is the bringing back together of some of these New Thought teachings. So there's actually a good pool. What I would say to you is it's about quality and not quantity. The most important thing for you to do is to give thought to what is important to you in your spiritual community and in your relationship with your minister, and to participate in these surveys and meetings. There'll be both surveys and meetings like this on Zoom, where Tony will ask you questions and help not necessarily open you up to lots of big discussion, but help you to think about how to think about this. What are the questions you should be asking yourself and what's important to you? So when that paperwork is filled out and it's sent in, Unity is looking to kind of curate people who are a really good match. And how well you fill out that paperwork will be what helps them to do a good job with that. Derek?
And in that process, of course, we will, look at everything as far as the interesting pieces of, speaking and counseling and also, helping run the spiritual center. I mean, that's been a big part of what our minister has done for the past years, is help coordinate with staff, help coordinate with members, and help coordinate with the board to continue to run this community and to do all these wonderful things that we do, everything from Zoom to in-person services, which is another interesting piece of how we're going to go forward, everyone, is that, we don't know at this point exactly when we're going to be back in the building. And a lot of this stuff for this transition is going to be through Zoom, and we intend, just to let everybody know, to continue to have an online presence. We have done a wonderful job with Zoom and being able to reach out not only locally, but across the United States and even worldwide with this. And it has done an amazing job of being able to connect us in to people. And we intend for a new minister to be able to do that also. So
Yeah,
let's see,
Derek,
do we have, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like I just said, I'm not jumping on a plane and moving to China or something. I'm around. So I will be around to the degree that your new minister wants to know anything. I'm a phone call away. And for those of you that have been around, Lawrence was that for me. When I couldn't find something, when I needed to know what the history was on something, when there was something that came up that obviously had a history and I needed to find out what that was, he was at the other end of the phone. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure that people have that whoever comes in has anything they need from me. And I'm also very prepared to step away. And that's one of the most important things for me to do, is to step away enough for your new minister to collaborate and invent with you, to innovate. We have a lot of unique features to our community. We're very interfaith. We share our building with another community. We have lots of interesting ways of making money. We're supporting people on other continents. We do a lot of unique things. You're going to need someone who has the skill to bring you through that so that you can determine if you want to keep doing all of those things, or if there's something in addition or something different you want to do. And I will be in service to this community through that transition to whatever degree it is requested by the minister. It's really important that I not step on someone new's toes. So rest assured I'm here, and also that I'll serve in both of those capacities, to step forward if you need me and step back if you don't.
Chris, I see your question about what board members are leaving. This year, it is scheduled where I will step off, and Shenna will step off, and Betty will step off. Those are the three people that will be stepping off. And so we'll have Jeff and Cindy and why am
Patsy.
I blanking on Patsy? Good gosh, brain block there. Sorry, guys. That will be staying on moving forward. Will there be, I see Amy asked, will there be a way to get to know potential new ministers, and can they do a trial sermon for us? Absolutely. Part of this process would be that we would narrow it down to final candidates, and Ahriana has let us know that typically the way we would do that is each one of them would do a weekend where they would come in, say on Friday night, they do a board meeting with the board and with this steering committee. Saturday potentially could do a teaching for the community, which would be either in person or online, depending on where we're at with that process and reopening the building. And then they would speak. They would be our guest speaker on Sunday and essentially do the entire service on a Sunday. So each one of the candidates that would come in would have that opportunity, and it gives us a chance to get to know them better, and for everybody to be able to see how they teach and how they also can do things on Sunday. So that is going to be a big, huge part of this, because then after that comes, we will resurvey people and say, how did you like that weekend? How did you like that minister? How did you like that process? And give us a ton of feedback to be able to make these final decisions.
Derek, one of the
Let's see.
questions
Go ahead.
is, what will become of the vision statement work that we did last year? Clearly, we put a lot of energy into that, and it's also a whole year ago. And through the course of our changing way of doing things, we have had some shifts in membership. So there are people who have not been able to participate in that, whose voices might want to be heard, especially since we are now covering, one coast to the other coast, which is just pretty mind-boggling when you think about it. So my suggestion to you would be that you do that work with your new minister. And I'm sure that Tony will talk to you about it. I'm sure that that will be part of the conversation that you have is how you go about that and when you go about that. But the new minister is the right person to do that with.
And Wendy, I see your question in there. Yes, I will continue to head up the steering committee. I have been graced to have the board, even though I will be stepping off as board president. I am going to continue on with the steering committee until this process is complete. So I will be working hand in hand, reporting back to the board that gets put in place in March as head of the steering committee with things. So just to let everybody know that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon either. So is there any other questions that we've got? I think everything has been answered that's in chat. Anybody else? Okay, I guess if that is it, everyone, thank you for your time. Like I said, we will be keeping you in the loop here. If there are questions outside of this that you need to ask me directly, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if there are questions for Ahriana, you can also shoot her an email and she will be happy to respond to that also.
Yeah.
And here this next week, just to let you know, I'm going to be contacting Tony Bain to get in touch with her to start this process moving forward and what are the next step and kind of coordinating with her so that we can get things up and moving. So thank you again. Ahriana, if you want to say anything else.
I just want to say thank you. A lot of you have sent me private notes in the chat and I can't listen and answer them at the same time, but they're very sweet and loving and kind words. And I thank you. I'm going to leave this room open for a minute so I can read them before I close this room. And while I'm doing that, if you want to go in and grab Derek's address, the room will be open for a minute so that you can do that and send him any messages. And man, I love you guys. I love you guys. And I'm please don't treat me like I'm gone already. I'm here for a while. So let's be in the place of sharing and loving our time together and keep our hearts and our minds open to the good that's coming. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.